to my video. Now I'm just going to do a fairly quick video tutorial on how I draw my furniture. I've decided basically to draw a chest drawer which is long but not that tall. I don't want to do the typical chest drawer that everyone has in their bedroom, so let's start and you'll see what I mean. I'm gonna basically go to the pencil tool, and I want it about say 6 foot long, and I want it about 4.5 4.5 deep, and basically make that so 6 foot by 1.5 foot. How tall? Let's use the push pull tool and take it up to say 2 foot high. Yeah, we'll take it up to 2 foot high. So I'm just going to put my measurement there. That's 2 foot high, and you'll notice that all the measurements I put in will be at this bottom left hand corner where it says measurements. So just keep an eye on the measurements that I use. And now we've got the size of the overall cabinet, in other words, or chest of drawer, whatever you want to call it. It's time to make it as it would be in the real world, sort of thing. So the first thing I'm going to do is hollow out this, and I use the offset tool, and the piece of wood I'm using is about an inch thick boards basically. So I'm just going to type in 1 inch, press turn, and that's giving me the thickness of my piece of wood. Now the way I'm basically going to hollow this is basically straight through using the push pull tool, which is here. Push pulls this section right to the end, so you can now see straight through the cabinet with no backing, which we'll add later. First thing we're going to do is basically use the pencil tool, which will be used most of the time. What I want to now do is find out where the half is, rather than, we know that it's 6 foot long. Obviously we know it's 3 foot is in the middle somewhere, but to find it bang on, there's a midpoint. So we select the midpoint basically, and we draw a straight line, blue axis always, and we're going to erase this and that, and then again we're going to add another line, and on this side find the midpoint and at the bottom. So we got sections. Use the cursor tool, and I want to basically get rid of all this at the front, these 4 panels, and what I'm going to do is press shift, and obviously let's unselect everything. Now you select one panel, press shift, keep shift pressed, select the others, and then press basically delete, and it gets rid of those panels. Now we've got basically the 4 equal sections of the panel, and what I'm going to do is within each section, obviously this panel, I'm going to put a solid piece of timber basically to separate this section, in other words like this. So we've got 4 sections of drawers, maybe we'll have 3 or 4 drawers in each section, but what I'm going to do is separate each section. Now obviously this piece isn't going to be this flat with, it's not thick as this, so we're going to add the thickness, thicker piece. And what will that do is basically give strength to the structure for the drawers, rails for the drawers to go in there, and obviously it will, as I said, make it a lot stronger and make it solid. So what I'm going to do is just get rid of this line and this one, and we're left with, we don't need this one and we don't need that one, so we'll go back to the equal amount of space in between. Again, select these two panels, erase. Now right click and erase it was. So what I'm going to do is actually the end two, let's say this one and this one will be basically the same distance from the outside to the inside. So in other words, what I'm gonna do, what I mean is, I'm gonna basically make, using the push tool, I'm gonna bring this in 1 inch. So I've got a thickness of 1 inch. So this area is gonna be bigger, slightly bigger than this area. So I'm gonna use the push pull tool on this panel again, bring that out 1 inch. So these two are, this box basically and this area are exactly the same, and this leaves these two slightly smaller. So what we're gonna do is split them into two sections. Now now we know that these two are basically smaller. Now if I pull this panel towards this side, then this will be uneven. So what I'm going to do is get this bang in the middle, and the easiest way I find that is I go along, use the pencil tool, or you can use the tape measure tool, and what I'm going to do is close up a little, and I'm going to select from the end point and put my pencil on the red axis, and 1 inch basically is 2.5 centimeters. So what I'm going to do is you just basically half it, so 0.5 on an inch, and it's giving me a line, a little point there. And I'll get rid of this again, you right click, erase. This line is basically 1/2 inch, and this is the easy way of doing it. There's other ways, but this for an explanation is much easier. Again, from the center, type in 0.05 an inch. Wrong one, typed in wrong measurements. Right, 0.5 an inch. Again, right click this, erase, and connect them two up. Now we just get rid of this center line, and this one, don't need that one, we got one here, got one up there. So we basically use the push pull tool, bring it up, and there we have. Now I could have made all the sections exactly the same, but that's sort of basic. You want something slightly different, bit of a challenge, or in other words. But this is basically a tutorial showing you how simple measurements can be and how to apply measurements you can be as accurate as you want. You can basically if you want everything symmetrical, then obviously you got to be accurate with your measurements. If it's not symmetrical, I mean these two sides are symmetrical and these two inner sides are symmetrical as well, exactly the same. These two are, and exactly the same these two. And because it's a piece of furniture, you can if you can design it as you please basically. So now we've got the basically the strength in our cabinet, and obviously I'm going to select these again, use the shift key for multiple selections, right click, erase, and that's at the moment, that's the way it's looking. We've got the carcass, we've got the strength in the unit. And what we're going to do now is add the drawers, and then towards the end we'll add the sheet at the back to close it all off. So let's start with drawers, and I think the drawers for this one and that one should be the same. And then I'll see what to do and how to put them in this, or whether to keep them just drawers or open end, or see how it goes. So let's try it with this. First thing I'll again do is find the center and make a few lines, again center there. And what I'm going to do is select these four, erase them, and what I'm going to do is actually add from the middle both sides. Oops, I'm selecting the wrong one. And that's the midpoint, and that's the midpoint. And again, what I'll do here as well is, where are you? There it is. Midpoint there, midpoint there. Connect these 2 points up and that one, and again select these two, right click, erase, and the back ones, right click, erase. And now again what I'm going to do, just going to get rid of these 2 lines, don't need them. And what I'm going to do again, like I did before, obviously I want this shelf in the middle, this middle. If I pull it up, obviously it's not gonna be in the middle. So another way, before we did the way we did this one, it was different. Now I'm going to show you a different way of doing that. And there's many other ways that you can do this. It's entirely up to you. So what I'm going to do is take it from here with the push pull tool and take it up 0.5 of an inch, and that's given me that half an inch. But now this area is bigger than this one, so what I'm going to do is here pull this end down, and again I'm going to do 0.5 an inch, and now I've got my inch, and it's right in the middle. Here again, just move towards this side. I'm going to do exactly the same using the push pull tool. Pull it up as far as you can, but you just need to pull it a little, but it doesn't matter, just let go wherever you want, and then just put 0.5 of an inch, and there it is. Again, bottom, pull that down a little, type in 0.5 of an inch, and there we have everything is nice and level, 1 inch. And obviously this has given the unit even more strength. And now what I'm going to do is make another shelf here, and this, remember, are not shelves, they're shelves for a drawer. So the drawer will actually sit on top of these. Normally you would have a rail here, something like basically we call them runners. Oops, wasn't straight. So normally what you'd have is a piece of wood like this there, and obviously it'll be like this, and you'd have one on this side as well, and then you'd on the drawer you'd have a little channel on the drawers which would slide into them, and that will basically keep your drawer in line when you pull it out and push it back in. But I'm not gonna do it that way, so what I'm gonna just undone all my actions there, and now I'm gonna basically this one's come out a little, push that back, this one hasn't come back. That's unusual. That's because it's not level as this one. So when you sometimes you don't see exactly what's been done when you delete something or there's an error, all I'm going to do is going to connect this line and that, erase this one, and I've got that back. So these things happen, little malfunctions, you might delete something and you've got to go back and sort of change it. Now with this at the back, because it's uneven, it should be that way. There's a line. See, this was pushed out a bit. Put another line here, and now I can get rid of these remaining lines like so, and now I'll get rid of these two, erase, and now everything is symmetrical. See, everything in SketchUp is very easy to use and to do. If you make a mistake, you can always use this undo erase tool to go back and undo things that you are doing wrong. But if you notice like I have, the way it's done, see at the back here, it's made this hollow, so you can see it all the way straight through, simply because there isn't a line here, and as I've just drawn it now, it filled it in. Now it's a solid piece, and at the front it's the same thing, solid now. So now we got the basic, just highlight it in blue, just by selecting it, really. And now we've got the basic shape of the unit, and now I'm going to do is add another and basically draw in here. I want another, basically two draws, so I'm going to center that again like I did before, use the midpoint, and I'm going to do it another way. Instead of dragging it across, what I'm going to do is measure again 0.5 of an inch, and again get rid of this, and there it is. From here, 0.5 of an inch, and get rid of this again. There we go. It is the middle one. Pull from this side all the way to this end, basically. There you go. We got basically another shelf. Now I'm gonna, because they are actually attached, this is the way they are attached. You would usually, what would happen is you can put stud nails through this side to hold this in place, but that's a cowboy way of doing things, a cheap manufacture process. But the way I would do it, I would put those rails here, what I would, the easiest way would be to hold these shelves up would be, for example, put a piece of wood as support here, and then that shelf basically sits on that, and you can screw it from the bottom, from here, put a couple of screws with glue along there and sit the shelf on top. That's one way of doing it. The other way would be, I prefer, and it's depending what kind of quality furniture you're actually producing, but I would prefer to have this basically halfway in there, router this groove out, put a groove into the, actually then slide this drawer, the shelf, sorry, into there, making it much stronger and a quality piece of furniture. So I'm just gonna quickly do one for this side and basically get rid of that bit. So now this drawer or shelf, keep saying drawer, this shelf is basically in those grooves, and it's a much stronger joint. And I'm gonna do quickly again, I'll do it for this, take it to the center and down, erase that and move this along to this there. That is easily done, get rid of that. So easily done the two shelves there. Now let's go and do them on this side. For this first one, I'll quickly just do it as I've done on the other side. That's there, and get rid of the center line. And as you can see, this one's just deleted this line. Oops, wrong one. Undo. Deleted that line, so put it back in there, and again here. Do that. Now what I'm going to do here for the bottom drawer, rather than do it this way, the way we've just done that easy way, in other words, let's do it another way. Now let's get the middle midpoint, which is there. Now again, what I'm going to do is from the center midpoint, center up 0.5 of an inch, so it's basically there. Get rid of that, and from here down 0.5 of an inch, and we've got our two marks there. So I'll erase that one, and I don't need this line, so I'll get back to, oops, wrong, I needed that. Now basically I'm going to use these 2 points to remove this piece of the wood, so I can slide that. Now I don't need this line. Now this, before we the way I've done this is basically an easy way of doing it, and this one's slightly more challenging, slightly, but still very easy to do. And we use the push tool to get rid of that. So this is a channel you would usually make in the wood, so you can slide this shelf in, whether it's a shelf to support the drawers, like in this case, or just a shelf. This is the best way of putting a shelf in, because you don't need runners, supports underneath, because obviously it has support on both sides. And what I'll do on this side, obviously in the middle is there, and I'll do the same on this side. I'll just do it quickly like the other way we've done before. So 0.5 of an inch there, and there 0.5 of an inch. We've got our measurements basically, and you can draw straight across. This is another way of doing things, and you can do it this way. Obviously this is slightly different, like this is the third way of doing things, the 3 ways I've shown you. In this case we just delete these lines out and the middle one, and we just use the push tool, get rid of it, channel made, and it's in line with that one. Hopefully let's see, just by drawing a line across it should be red, and it is. Now you would actually put in the shelf in there, and rather than draw a shelf in separately and then push it in, you can draw it outside and then put the shelf in, meaning let's see, one easy way is using the push tool. I can bring this straight in up to the basically up to this line, push it out there or right to the end, or whichever way you want to do it, and the shelf is done. But how I'm going to do is show you how to actually put a shelf in there by first of all drawing a shelf. We know its thickness, so it's going to be, say we're going to do it right so it's a solid fit, there's no room, in other words, so it'll be bang on, just like this one, really tight fit. So we know all the measurements anyway, so we know it's 1 inch thick, so 1 inch thick height, from back to front is 1.5 feet. Oops, wrong way. And I've done that also wrong way as well, so get rid of, undo that. Let's run. Let it undo. So let's start again from bottom to top. 1 inch thick, and then from, let's move it, from there is red axis, remember, 1.5 feet, there we are, and let's end point 1 inch down, and then just connect them two. Now let's draw. We can have this draw as long or short as we want it, because we're going to select it and adjust it when we actually put it into the slot. So what I'm going to do is use the select tool, highlight the piece, and using this move tool, select it from this corner, you press down the mouse key and drag it to the position where we want it. Now let's zoom in a little. So we're gonna drag this corner to this corner, so you just go to this one, drag it, don't let go of the mouse, and there's the corner, perfect fit, there we are. And on this side obviously it's shorter. Now what we do is use the scale tool, which is that, and now to move it straight across into this point, we just get up this center point line, and we just drag it to the point where we want it, which touches us in, and then we just let go, and there we are, perfectly in its place. So I've just shown you how you do the same thing different ways, and there's many other ways of doing it, but it's just open to your imagination. So let's select this, right click, erase that. Now we've got basically our 4 shelves if that's what you wanted, but we're having these shelves to support the drawers, and I think I'm gonna leave these 2 drawers on each side, and at the top what I'm gonna do is, let's make this kind of a one-off sort of thing, not typical same symmetrical in every way. So oops. So what I've just done is selected the midpoint here, and what I'm going to do is basically draw another line up there. Oops. Select these 2, get rid of them, and like before, we select, so it's in the middle, erase this back one, we don't want that, and has to pull this way 0.5 of an inch, and we got that side, and 0.5 of an inch on this side. So we got a inch thick piece in there to separate these sections, and obviously every time we're adding these pieces in there, it's giving the structure, the whole structure, even more strength and stability, which is a good thing. It will be a heavy unit. Now what I want to do is add a 2 smaller drawers in this section. So I'm just going to select there, bring these 2 together. Oops. Select and get rid of these, and what I'm going to do is continue this going across. Oops. There, and link it. Oops, that didn't link up for some reason. End point. There we are. Do the same, and that's done. Now again, push pull tool down 0.5 of an inch, and this one 0.5 of an inch, and above 0.5 of an inch, and this one 0.5 of an inch. Done. Get rid of the middle line. Now we've got basically 4 boxes there. Now again, you would do the same thing as we've done with this section, like this, and again, the easiest way, oops, for me is doing it this way, and using the erase tool, get rid of that, and let's do it with this as well. Let's go across these, and with this, because it's we can't just half and half it, because this piece and this piece will be flapping in there. Basically, it's not secure and it's not that sturdy to do it this way, half and half. There's no point. You might as well just put this piece, this shelf whole, and then have these 2 pieces on top. It'd makes sense to do that way. But what we do is basically half that and half this, and then get rid of this bit and that bit, and now we still have plenty of support for those shelves in the middle. And this is how we do that if we're in a situation like this. Plenty of support for these smaller shelves, and this is the way, rather than just chopping this all the way through, and it keeps in line with the rest of the symmetry the way we've done the rest. So again, on the outside, do that and get rid of this line. Now we've got what we want basically on this side. So what I'm gonna do is basically have a drawer here, and another drawer here, or what in this case I can do is get rid of this section and have 3 drawers and then 2 small drawers up here, but I'm going to leave it as it is. What I'll do, I'll basically change this section and make that different from this section. So for this video, what we're going to do is continue this in the next video, and we'll make about 3-4 videos out of this, and hopefully get to the end. So thanks for watching. Please comment, and hope to see you in the next video.